Welcome, everybody. It's the moment you've been waiting for, the show before the show, the one you can't miss. It's Before the Heights on the SEC Network. We're at the Hearn Center on the campus of the University of Missouri as the 11th-ranked Tigers host the 4th-ranked Florida Gators. It's a chilly one in Columbia, but it is going to be a fantastic competition inside the Hearn Center. I'm John Roethlisberger alongside Olympian and world champion. How many world medals do you have? 11? Something like that, Alicia? A lot.
I have
Let's
11,
just leave it at
11
a lot.
medals.
Great to be combined. Alicia and I have 11 world and Olympic medals. That's all you guys need to know. We got a good matchup tonight. You know, Missouri, they're not the same old Missouri team. They're ranked 11th in the country right now. Florida, they are the same old Florida team. What can we expect?
Missouri, this is the best team what we've seen from them the last few years, but Florida, they are coming off a great performance last week where they put up a 198.25, which is the highest score in the nation. And it is because they had some stellar performances from freshman Leanne Wong, who literally was flawless in this bar routine, and she was rewarded for it with her first 10.0 in her NCAA career. The momentum kept rolling once they went to balance beam, and Trinity Thomas does what Trinity Thomas does, puts up 10.0s, contributing to her gym slam on all events. Last week, whoops, Coach.
Go ahead. I was just going to tell you, Missouri wasn't perfect last week, right? But balance beam, they really brought it together.
They had some struggles, but they pulled it all together on balance beam. They are the number 3 ranked team on the balance beam in the country, so they know what to do when it's time to get on those 4 inches. So I think they could really bump up that score tonight, but last week they got a 49.4, which is the second highest in school history.
We have had so many high scores for teams, event high scores for teams this season. It has been outstanding. Nia Reed just making sure that the score flasher can show a 10 and making sure people know that that is probably a score that she very well could get in this evening's competition. The Missouri Tigers, Sienna Schreiber, their top all-arounder. She is a lot of fun and a great gymnast as well. Some things to watch for in tonight's competition. Of course, the J&A Academy will be back, and we're going to be talking about the facilities and student-athlete amenities at some of these SEC universities. They are incredible attractions for young recruits as well. Alicia Sacramone-Quinn had a chance to sit down with Missouri's Sienna Schreiber. That's a fantastic interview that she did there. And then, of course, we're going to do SEC news and notes and talk about the gymnasts of the week and just what another great week it's been in gymnastics here in the SEC. And then, of course, we're going to preview tonight's tri-meet right after us. 17 Western Michigan. Yes, number 17 Western Michigan, number 25 North Carolina. They're all going to be visiting number 9 Alabama in Tuscaloosa. It's going to be a good one. But right now, you know what? This is what we are here for. Gators versus Tigers. This is actually a lion, but let's pretend it's a tiger. Gators, Tigers, Gators, Tigers. Who you got? Here's tonight's lineups.
That those who are able, please stand and remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. let's meet the competitors for tonight's meet. First, our guests from Gainesville, Florida. These are the Florida Gators. A freshman from Middletown, Delaware, Morgan Hurd. A senior from Ann Arbor, Michigan, Leah Clapper. Sophomore from Iron Station, North Carolina, Gabrielle Galentine. Freshman from Navarre, Florida, Bree Edwards. Junior from Mokina, Illinois, Peyton Richards. A graduate student from Dallas, Texas, Alyssa Bauman. A freshman from Overland Park, Kansas, Leanne Wong. A freshman from Frisco, Texas, Sloan Blakely. A senior from Landover, Maryland, Nia Reed. A sophomore from Denver, Colorado, Chloe Clark. A freshman from Bradenton, Florida, Riley McCusker. A senior out of York, Pennsylvania, Trinity Thomas. Graduate student from Marietta, Georgia, Megan Skaggs. A senior from Columbus, Georgia, Savannah Shanehair. And a sophomore from Orlando, Florida, Alex McGee. Assistant coaches Adrian Burday and Owen Field. The head coach is Jenny Rowland, the Florida Gators. Welcome to the floor, your Missouri Tigers! Let's meet our Tigers. First, our freshman from Albertville, Alabama, she's Grace Ann Davis. From Sewanee, Georgia, this is Alana Kretzer. From Marvin, North Carolina, she's Victoria Getzendorfer. From Hillsboro, New Jersey, here's Jocelyn Moore. And from Willamar, California, this is Amari Celestine. Now here is our sophomore class. From Glendive, Montana, this is Jenna Swanson. She's a member of the SEC All-Freshman team from Kannapolis, North Carolina, Amaya Marshall. From Golden, Colorado, Elise Newson. A Scholastic All-American out of Blue Springs, Kira Burns. And a 2021 NCAA Beam qualifier from Andover, Kansas, Sydney Schaefer. Next are juniors. She's a Scholastic All-American, member of the 2021 All-SEC team from Cumming, Georgia, Sienna Schreiber. A Scholastic All-American out of Lafayette, Colorado. She's Holland Patrick. And a Scholastic All-American from Columbia, Adelina Hoffendijk. And a member of the 2020 All-SEC team and the 2020 Event Specialist of the Year from Chi-Town, Helen Hu. And here are our seniors. A a Scholastic All-American from Circleville, New York, Alisa Chirametta. And the 2021 NCAA 4 qualifier from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, Hannah McCrary. Assistant coach John Carney and Casey Drew McPherson. The head coach is Shannon Welker. Your Missouri Tigers. Athletes, please proceed to your first event and wait for your instructions to begin the 4-minute touch period. Your starting lineups tonight were presented by Kia.
Number 4 Florida versus number 11 Missouri next on the SEC Network. It is our favorite time of the week again. It is Friday Night Heights. This week we're at the Hearn Center on the campus of the University of Missouri as the 11th ranked Tigers host the 4th ranked Florida Gators. I'm John Roethlisberger alongside Olympian and world champion Alicia Sacramone-Quinn. Alicia, Florida last week, they were on fire.
They had an outstanding performance, scoring the highest score in the nation with a 198.25, and that is in part because of this knockout bar routine by Leanne Wong, scoring her a 10.0, her very first 10 of her NCAA career. And then they kept that momentum moving with Trinity on balance beam, adding to her gym slam with another 10.0.
Now, Missouri last week wasn't perfect, but man, did they finish strong on the balance beam.
Each week, Missouri has been improving little by little, and they are ranked number 3 in the nation on balance beam. And so I think they could honestly build on that each and every week. Last week alone, they put up a second season high score on balance beam with a 49.4. They can improve on that tonight. They're at their home gym. They have that momentum.
They were hoping to get that win last week against Kentucky. That is a good rival for Missouri, but now they get the 4th ranked Gators in their home gym, and Coach Shannon Welker said, look, this is an opportunity. He wants his team to look at this as an opportunity, and you have to believe that you can win when you go on that floor. And if they're going to do the job, they're going to do it with a lot of underclassmen. As you look at the Missouri vault lineup, they start out with 2 sophomores and they end with 3 freshmen. They actually have a third of their lineup spots tonight are taken up by freshmen. But that freshman class, I'll tell you what, they are a talented freshman class. And this team, if it's going to go anywhere, it is going to be on the shoulders of some of those young athletes.
They have a lot of scoring potential on vault with that lower half of their lineup. So it's all about really focusing on these landings, and that's something they need to improve on from last week.
Leading off with Sydney Schaefer.
A big Yurchenko full, good distance from the table, just a small hop on that landing.
Yeah, you mentioned it, Alicia, no stuck vault landings last week.
And it is still early on in the season where stuck landings are basically what everyone's fighting for. But you do want to start getting your team ready. It's middle of its season now almost. We need to start seeing some more landings from Missouri.
She is a freshman, and she is currently the 16th ranked all-arounder in the country, leading off with the Gators, Sloan Blakely.
Opens up with Maloney to the high bar. Beautiful pack salto. Hitting that handstand on the high bar. Toe to blind change. Double front. Small step on that landing. It is a blind landing, so you can't see where your feet are going to be when they hit the floor, so you really have to anticipate that.
Florida, the number 6 team in the country on the uneven bars.
Beautiful form in that front giant before her double front dismount. Held onto her knees just a moment too long. She wants to kick that out to be able to anticipate the floor earlier.
Sydney Schaefer on vault led off with a tie for her career high, 9.775. Now on Maya Marshall.
There's the stick Missouri has been looking for.
And that looked like the stick tunnel right there.
Round off onto the board. Backhand sprint to the table. Pikes the full down a little bit, trying to get that stick. So that's the risk you run. When you are trying to stick, you can tend to break your body form. So that's unfortunately going to get a deduction for the pike down, but she won't get any deduction, obviously, on her landing.
The Kannapolis, North Carolina native Amaya Marshall has a high this season of a 9.8 on vault. Now Megan Skaggs, the super senior, taking advantage of that 5th COVID year, as we're calling it. She is a grad student. What do the judges look? Oh, meet rules actually at this point. 6 gymnasts per team compete on each event. 5 best scores count. That is really the critical part of women's gymnastics. The 5 best scores count, so you drop that low score. If you have a mistake, you have a low number, you can erase that with 5 good routines. The highest cumulative score wins. Home team, they start on vault, end on floor. That is your Olympic order. And the visiting team, as always, starts on bars, and they have to end on the always difficult balance beam. Here we go with Megan Skaggs.
On uneven bars, these are the things judges are looking for. They want to make sure the athlete is hitting their handstands. Do they have release moves? And the most important thing, do they have good form? You can see Megan on her pirouette lost her body shape. That is going to be a deduction. You want to be perfectly tight while you're doing your bar routine. Double layout. Great double layout dismount. A lot of height, great form in the air. Has a little too much power causing her to take that hop and landing. An absolute sky-high Tkachev. She catches it really on her fingertips. And it's too strong. Sorry, John.
Sloan Blakely right before her ties her career high of a 9.85. Amaya Marshall ties her career high, or gets her career high rather, of a 9.825. And now Sienna Schreiber, the junior.
Nice Yurchenko full, kicks it out, trying to anticipate that landing, but great control, approaching the table, just needs to absorb the mat when her feet hit it. Nice, opens up, you can see her looking for it.
Head coach Shannon Welker in his 9th season as the Missouri head coach. He was the most improved team, moved up 20 spots in the national rankings in 2015, and he has just continued to build on that. And this year, that 10th ranking they had going into last week was the highest in program history. Savannah Shane here, the senior, waiting to go. She looks a little relaxed, Alicia.
You know, a lot of the time these athletes are so focused on what they're doing, and then once they salute, they just focus back in. But you have to stay loose because you can't get in your own head if it's the hurry up and wait and you're waiting for judges to give you a score so you can go. You just got to stay calm. And you know what? If dancing around is what does it for Savannah, so be it.
Megan Skaggs, a 9.875, so just shy of her season high this year.
Nice straddle Jaeger for Savannah. Toe handstand to shoot over handstand. Line change, double front half, and she almost sticks the landing.
That dismount, it looked like a little quick step there, but that was sky high. I don't think anyone's done a double front higher than that.
She caught that Jaeger so high above the bar. That was fantastic. A lot of height on that dismount. It was a nice one, but I'm not sure they'll give her the stick for that.
Jenny Rowland, the 3-time SEC Coach of the Year in her 7th season, leading the Gators and always in the top 4 every year of her tenure so far. Now back over to vault with Amari Celestine.
Big Yurchenko 1.5. I think that was a stick. That was awesome.
And this is where Missouri needs to make some hay with these last 3 big vaults. They need huge numbers.
Beautiful, opens it up. It does hop forward just ever so slightly on the landing, but that was a very good vault.
Sienna Schreiber right before her with the season high on vault, 9.85. So 2 career highs and a season high from Missouri. You can't ask for much more than that. Savannah Shane here for that beautiful bar routine, a 9.9. And now Trinity Thomas. This is actually the first time this season that Trinity will compete in the all-around. So look out for those all-around rankings. They are a threat anytime this athlete is doing all 4 events. She has achieved the gym slam, and that means she has gotten a 10-0 on every one of the 4 events in women's gymnastics.
Trinity's back up on the high bar. This routine has been immaculate so far. If she can stick this landing, this would be a big score for the Gators. And she does.
A 10-0 for Trinity Thomas. Anytime at any event, she is a threat to get a 10-0, and this one is going to be a real high score again.
Just absolute perfect body position in there. Her legs are glued together, her toes are pointed. It was, honestly, it was a 10.
Alicia's calling a 10. That means it will probably not be a 10, but we'll find out in a moment. Amari Celestine, a career high 9.925, and now Jocelyn Moore, the 5th gymnast.
Jocelyn has a huge Yurchenko 1.5, just so much power and height. Did hop on that landing ever so slightly, but if she can get that landing under control, she'll easily put up a 10 on this vault in another competition. Look how high she was above the table before she even finished twisting. Absolutely amazing. Welker
thinks that she will develop into a superstar, possibly even this year in the NCAA. Keep an eye on Jocelyn Moore, and you can tell by that vault right there, she has got some skills and she can fly on that event. So Missouri, 3 scores that are career highs for them, 1 season high. Trinity Thomas, a career high for her is going to be a 10 no matter what the event. Does not get a 10 here, 9.925. Is that a disappointment these days for Trinity? It's an amazing score, but she has set the bar, no pun intended, very high. Last week, freshman Leanne Wong, she got her first 10, and it was right here on the uneven bars.
Opens up with the Maloney to a beautiful pack salto. Back up to the high bar. Little loose on that handstand. Lost her body shape. Double layout, and she sticks the landing.
And I'm pretty sure it's a double layout stick contest every week in the gym for Leanne Wong and Trinity Thomas. Wow, what a finish.
Fights to hold that handstand on the high bar. She did lose her midsection just a bit, so she will get a small deduction for overextending that handstand.
You can see bar coach Owen Field standing next to the mat. He's their main bar coach and clearly doing a good job. We saw this vault last week at Kentucky. It was another huge Yurchenko 1.5, but she had trouble with the landing. Can she get it here?
Tries to open up to stick that, has a funky leg pull up on the landing, but it was more controlled than last week for sure. I don't think that's necessarily how she would want to land it. Separates her legs, almost looks like she got a little bit of a stinger there.
So a 9.675 last week for Grace Ann Davis. She is a freshman from Albertville, Alabama. That certainly should be higher than that. Great vault rotation for Missouri. Jocelyn Moore had a 9.825 in the 5th spot. Wait for Grace Ann Davis's score. Leanne Wong, the freshman, a 9.95. Follows up that 10, and now Gabby Galantine. And this is a gymnast that Jenny Rowland says, our team is better with her in the lineup. She has got exquisite execution, according to her head coach.
Beautiful pack salto back onto a low bar. You see these athletes combining these skills to help get bonus points so they can get up to a 10.0 start value. Full twist and double layout. Just too much juice on that landing, but that was a great bar routine up until that dismount.
Her team is loving it. They know that she is important to this bar lineup, and confidence has been an issue for Gabby, but man, what a great job for her right here.
Nice form in the air, pikes it down ever so slightly, causing her to take that step backwards, but a very difficult skill to perform.
Grace Ann Davis's score, a 9.825 in the anchor position for Missouri. What a first rotation. There are some incredible facilities and amenities in the SEC, and the J&A Academy is going to take a closer look when we come back. This week in the J&A Academy, we're going to be talking facilities and amenities for these student athletes. Alicia, some of these things that these universities have to attract the young recruits are incredible. Let's start with the gymnastics facilities.
I think as an athlete going into college, there's a lot of things you're looking for in a gym. You spend a lot of time there. It's like your second home. You want multiple pieces of the same equipment. You want rod floors, foam pits. You want to have a training room that's in the gym because it's a one-stop shop. You're going to get ready for practice, go training room right after, get your body right. So all the schools in the SEC have fantastic training facilities. I've got to go to Florida's gym and it is beautiful. They have cameras to catch you on repeat so you can see what you're doing, Ronnie, and think it's a dream for an athlete to want to be able to go to one of these schools.
I think if you look at the SEC as a group of teams, of gymnastics teams, they probably have the best gymnastics facilities in the country. But that's not the only thing that these universities have. And some of the other amenities in the athletes' villages and some of those other things they offer are also pretty incredible, correct?
You know, athletics is important, but you have to remember they're students first. And all of these schools want their athletes to be successful. At Arkansas, the Jones Family Student Athlete Success Center has all the amenities you could ever think to help them thrive. And at Florida, there is no way you cannot miss out on being your best student at the Otis Center. It has an auditorium, study rooms, tutoring services, mental health services, anything you need you could get. And then, last but not least, the athlete village that is on its way. I mean, I think I may vacation there. It looks like the nicest place ever. I have some eligibility left. I could go back to Florida, I think.
Key West is out. Our next vacation stop is Gainesville and the Gator campus. That looks like a lot of fun. You know, the thing that Jenny Rowland said, I think this would resonate with all the coaches across the country, is facilities are great and they are nice and they're important, but the most important thing, it's about the people that are at the university and the culture that you create within your team. And I think all the coaches would say that is ultimately why they want an athlete to come to their school and really the reason they should come to their school. So after one rotation, we got a good one here. Just .25 are the Missouri Tigers behind the number 4 team in the country, the Florida Gators. Florida Gators are going to go to vault, led by Savannah Shane here. She had a great bar routine. Can she do some good on the vault as well? Missouri, they go to bars behind superstar Jocelyn Moore. Florida Gators are getting ready to go on the vault, and they look nice and warm now, and they were nice and warm about 24 hours ago. In fact, this is what it looked like in Florida when the Florida Gators left to head to Columbia. 77, partly cloudy. Not bad, right? They landed 17 degrees, but it actually feels like 3. They lost 60 degrees. They probably were coming out of that airplane, and it was a rude awakening here in Columbia. Welcome to the Midwest weather. But they are looking hot right now after a great bar rotation, and certainly this is an event, too, that they can excel on. As we look at their vault lineup, Chloe Clark is indeed going to lead off the vault rotation. Trinity Thomas there in the 5th spot, trying to get another 10. But here we go, a sophomore out of Denver, Colorado, Chloe Clark.
Chloe making her way down the runway. Real big Yurchenko full. Small hop on that landing, but nice distance from the table. Slight elbow bend, but again, we see this in slow motion. The judges don't see it like that. They won't even be able to really see that bend of the elbows as she hits the table.
Chloe Clark in her sophomore year. This is actually the first year she's competed. Just did exhibition on bars her freshman year, so big season for her so far. Now back over to bars, or actually for the first time Missouri on bars, and Maya Marshall leading things off here.
Line change. Nice straddle Jaeger to immediate overshoot. Doing that handstand on the high bar. Full twisting double back. Small hop on that, step on that landing, excuse me. This was a good start-off routine for Missouri. It looked like to me when she did this release move that she was catching it almost by her fingertips. That was a good connection. It was definitely close, though.
Good start, but again, Shannon Welker said it. They have to start sticking some landings. Have not done that yet in this competition. Now freshman Bree Edwards on vault. Yurchenko
full, nice height and distance. Does have a decent size hop in that landing. She probably is working on a 1.5, which it's not the time of the season where she needs to throw it, but she definitely has the ability to. Nice clean body, comes down perfectly straight as her feet approach the mat.
Bree out of Navarre, Florida in Gulf Coast Gymnastics. She followed Chloe Clark's 9.725. Amaya Marshall on the uneven bars leads off with a 9.8. Friday Night Heights continues. You can see there's a tri-meet coming up. We'll talk about that more later. It's right after this event. Don't go anywhere. North Carolina, Western Michigan, and Alabama. Should be a good one. This is Sienna Schreiber.
Sienna's been a rock star for this Tiger squad. Double layout. Going for that stick. Her legs were just a little too soft on that landing. She did have to step backwards, but that was another good bar set for Missouri.
Things to look at, Alicia, on the vault.
On vault, the judges are looking for, your start value. Not all vaults are created equal. Your amplitude, how high you're getting off the table. And of course, you need to have good air awareness if you want to be able to stick that landing.
Savannah Shane here, she can fly.
Big Yurchenko 1.5, small hop on that landing. But the judges are only gonna probably take a small deduction for that. Nice entry to the board, good body position in the air. If she got her head around just a moment sooner, she may have stuck that vault.
She has a high this season of a 9.95. Bree Edwards right before her a 9.8. So right now for Florida, the low is a 9.725. That'll be the score that they will try to drop. Now junior from Lafayette, Colorado in airborne gymnastics, Alan Patrick gets ready to go on the uneven bars. Last week she had her season high against Kentucky at 9.85 here.
Gets that handstand on the high bar, blind change, straddle Jaeger.
Sienna Schreiber moments ago, her season high 9.9.
On the high bar. Double layup dismount.
There you
she
go.
Sticks that landing.
They needed that one.
This routine had small moments of form breaks, but all in all, she kept the momentum going. She had good flow, like the leg separation when she catches the bar. But nice dismount, sticks that landing.
The number 3 gymnast in the country is Nia Reed. She's the next vaulter to go. Following Savannah Shane here is 9.9. Scores building for Florida on vault with a chance to really knock it out of the park here with 3 vaulters to go.
Nia making her way down the runway. 1.5.
Just a small hop. Looks like a 9.9 unless we see some form in the air, Alicia.
Nice tight body position in the air. Doesn't bend those knees anticipating that landing. It should be a good score. The hop wasn't that big.
She's got a high this season of a 9.975 on that event. Jocelyn Moore looked good on the vault earlier this evening. She's now following Holland Patrick's 9.875. It's going to take 9.9s for the Missouri Tigers to beat the Gators tonight.
Nice connection there. Blind change full to Tkachev to overshoot. Tad bit short on that handstand on the high bar to immediate full twisting double back. That routine was packed with difficulty. Did have a small step on the landing, but that should score well.
If you want to look in the Coda points for the perfect representation of what a Yurchenko 1.5 should look like, this is it.
Textbook 1.5. Beautiful. Legs together. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that.
She is number 6 in the country on this event. She's gotten a 10 this season. Last time out, it was a 9.975.
Beautiful. Again, 1.5. Doesn't stick the landing that time, but her execution is flawless until her landing.
And it's funny because if you know Trinity, she's happy, but you look at her face and it's not that big smile. It's just, oh, I did a good vault, but I took a hop. She expects to stick that vault. Sets such high standards for herself. So Jocelyn Moore, a career high for her, 9.85. Now Elisa Sharametta, the senior from Circleville, New York. Next up, she has a high this season of a 9.875, and that was in the first meet out.
Elisa mounts over the low bar, hits the handstand on the high bar. Nice straddle Jaeger to immediate overshoot. Flying change. 1.5 dismount. Small hop on that landing. I love seeing a different dismount that you typically see. That was a nice Rudy off the bar.
Missouri having a great bar rotation. We've been challenged with some lineup changes throughout this season, and it's early in the season, and these coaches are trying to find their best formula to put their athletes in the best position to succeed. And here we have another change. Sloan Blakely is coming in for Peyton Richards. She was supposed to anchor this lineup, was Peyton Richards, and now here comes the freshman.
Big Yurchenko full, a lot of distance, good height. Just a little too much power on that landing. Does have to take a decent sized step backwards.
And that look on Sloan's face when she landed looked like the look of a gymnast that just got thrown into that lineup at the last minute going, okay, I did my job, wasn't expecting to do that. And hey, you put the freshmen in tough spots and they certainly grow from that. Trinity Thomas a 9.9 for her vault. SEC inside, 9 o'clock, you're going to get the Ole Miss women's basketball team, and then at 9:30, you're going to get the Florida men's basketball team. Don't miss that. SEC inside on Mondays. Here we go with Amari Celestine following Elisa Sharametta's 9.9. It's a big opportunity for Missouri.
Amari just did a Maloney to pack salto. Back up to the high bar. Stalled her. To front, and she sticks it. Her dismount was a front pike with a half twist. Absolutely fantastic.
Unique dismount, Missouri. What a bar rotation. 3 career highs, 1 season high. Sloan Blakely finishes with a 9.675 on vault. That'll be the score they drop, but Florida does have to count a 9.725. Wow, good meet halfway through. When we come back, Alicia Sacramone Quinn had a chance to sit down with one of the stars of the Missouri Tiger team, Sienna Schreiber.
I am here with Missouri's junior Sienna Schreiber. Sienna, thank you for taking the time today. I am dying to know what made you want to come to Missouri.
Well, when I came here on my visit, this is the first place I visited. And right when I got here and met the coaches and the team, I knew I wanted to come here. It was such a family environment and they really made me feel wanted and welcome. And it just seemed very genuine, you know? So that's something that it really stuck with me and I really just wanted to come here.
I have been watching you compete for the last few years now, and you are either talking to yourself or singing right before you compete. Tell us what you're doing and how you're getting yourself mentally ready to go.
Oh my gosh, I do talk to myself a lot. I'm always dancing before, you know, anything to just stay loose. I think it helps me a lot. I'm just like, it's not that serious, just go and have fun.
Tell the viewers something that we don't know about you.
Okay, this is kind of goofy, but I used to have a pet rat when I was little. I loved him. His name was Cookies and Cream. Then we moved on and got a dog, but that's something that not a lot of people know. And it's really goofy, but it's funny.
Now, this will be really easy. I'm gonna ask you some fun would you rather. Okay, well, now this one's actually funny. Would you rather, I said a cat or a dog, but now I'm gonna go, would you rather a rat or a dog?
Oh, definitely now a dog. Maybe like 5 years ago, or like 7 years ago, the answer might have been different.
Okay, would you rather be an event specialist or an all-arounder?
All-arounder.
Would you rather have to competition salute every time somebody said your name, or have to wear your leotard to every time you go out in public for like a social function?
Oh my gosh, competition salute. Definitely.
Sienna, thank you so much. Best of luck this weekend. We'll be rooting you on.
Thank you so much.
Alicia, it seems like with Sienna Schreiber in your gym, you're always smiling and always having a good time.
She is so entertaining, and honestly, keeping it light is the best way to go, and she's always dancing, having a good time, and her teammates love her for that.
And you can see all the accolades, All-American on the balance beam. Missouri, .075 behind the number 4 team in the country. Who thought that's where we would be halfway through? Sienna Schreiber, the All-American, takes her team to the balance beam. Meanwhile, Megan Skaggs, the super senior, they're in a dogfight. She takes the Gators to floor exercise.
Movie theater.
Lexi Graber and the Alabama Crimson Tide, they're right after us. They will be hosting number 17 Western Michigan and number 25 North Carolina. Friday night Heights continues. That should be a fun one. Don't go away. We're right here at the Hearn Center through 2 rotations. After one, it was .25 lead for Florida, and you thought, man, they're going to build on that on an event that they can really fly the vault, but they did not. Actually, Missouri closing the gap. .075 now separates these two teams. It's practically tied, and Sienna Schreiber, she just wants to dance about it, and she's got a good reason to, Alicia. Missouri's giving themselves a chance.
Both of these teams still have balance beam left, which is one of their best events. So if Missouri does what they've been doing, this could be a really good upset if they have a great beam rotation and do well on floor.
Maya Marshall leads things off here on the uneven bars. Missouri set a season high. They had 4 career high scores and 1 season high score. And that is exactly what head coach Shannon Welker wants. He told his team, believe you have a chance, and so far they are absolutely believing.
Fantastic Acker series. Front toss to 2 feet, back handspring step out. Split jump, straddle quarter. Back handspring, gainer full off the side. Small hop on that landing, but a great lead-off beam routine for the Tigers. Front toss to back handspring. Acker series can be made up of all types of different skills. I like that one because it's unique and not something you see all the time. And then the back handspring, gainer full dismount.
Senior Leah Clapper will lead things off for the Gators. Again, .075 separating these two teams after the second rotation. At the halfway point, 6 routines yet to go for both of these teams. Actually, Missouri just did 1, so they have 11. But every one of these routines, every landing is going to matter, and Missouri right now eyeballing one of the bigger upsets of the season.
Tumbling pass. Front Rudy to double stag jump. Second tumbling pass for Leah. Round off 1.5 front layout to jump. You may be wondering why athletes decide to add jumps at the end of their tumbling pass. 1, it gives bonus points. 2, if you're not the best at controlling your landings, that is a nice way to cover up that lack of control. tumbling pass, double pike. Good routine for Leah Clapper. Does have a little extra power on that last pass, causing her to take an uncontrolled step out of her double pike. This is how the judges would describe it, but finished it strong.
So Leah Clapper gets things going here for the Gators on the floor exercise. We talked about how this would be a big moment for the Missouri Tigers to get a win here. It would be only the second time in the history of this rivalry. 28-1, Florida has dominated this matchup. The only win coming in 2018 in a dual meet where Missouri edged the Gators by 2¼ tenths. Missouri Tigers through 2 rotations has 8 career highs, make that 9 career highs because Amaya Marshall led off the Missouri beam rotation with a 9.875. That is a huge start score on this event.
Solid front toss for Hannah McCrary.
And this is a big moment for Missouri because this is the spot in the lineup that Shannon Welker told us the score dipped against Kentucky. And right here is this chance where they can really start to build scores, and the second and third spot is critical for the Tigers. Leah Clapper leads off on floor with a 9.85, good start score for them.
Split half. Back handspring, tough 1.5 dismount, small hop in that landing. Hannah didn't have the best beam routine last week, but she is redeemed herself this week. That was a great set for her. The back handspring layout, step out, acro series. Has a slight dip in that shoulder, but keeps her dance moving to try to cover that up. And you can see her feet not necessarily always pointing straight when you land your tumbling skills. So that was a good way to get a little perspective on what your feet do in an acro series.
So for the first time this season, we get to see Peyton Richards on the floor exercise. She was going to be in the vault as well. They had a late lineup change there. She's competed only beam so far this season. First time on floor.
Peyton opens up with a big double layout. On floor, judges are looking for your artistry, how well you perform, your difficulty. Are you throwing those big skills like Peyton did, that double layout? And they want to see control on those landings.
I asked Jenny Rowland before the meet today, why Peyton Richards hasn't been more involved in the lineup, and she's been in the all-around a dozen times in the last 2 seasons. She said it's tough to make the Florida lineup, and it is. They have so much talent, and really it's about the ebbs and flows of the season and really trying to maximize your depth as you get ready for the second half and most importantly the postseason.
Round up 1.5. Supposed to do a punch front tuck full there. Only gets a half around.
And we have a break, really the biggest break we've seen so far in this competition from either team. What happened?
So she's going for the skill, and it doesn't look like she gets a great punch off that second leg, so she doesn't get to complete the tuck full, which will impact her start value. So she most likely will not start from a 10.0.
So now an opportunity again for Missouri. Hannah McCrary in the second spot, got a 9.825. And now freshman Victoria Gatzendorfer from Marvin, North Carolina in the third spot.
Back handspring, layout, step out. Split jump to ring jump. difficult jump, you lose sight of the balance beam.
If you're a fan of Missouri gymnastics, you notice a name that is not in their lineup on this event, and that's Helen Hu. She is out because of COVID protocols this week, and that is how Victoria Gatzendorfer got this opportunity. And she's making the most of it.
Victoria finished with a gainer back pike off the beam. Another clean hit beam set for Missouri. Her 3-skill acro series, very difficult. Had some room to spare in the back of the beam. You figured after 3 skills you wouldn't, but she does. That jump connection.
Coach Welker said as much as, sorry Alicia, as much as Coach Welker hates to have these athletes out of the lineup, he did say it's really given them an opportunity to test their depth, and in some ways he realizes he has more depth than he thought he had on this team, and putting it to good use there on balance beam. Now, Megan Skaggs, the 6-time All-American, mounts the floor exercise following Peyton Richards' 9.0. But remember, that 9.0 can be dropped. They only count the top 5 scores, so Florida, a little pressure on these last 4 athletes, however, they have to hit. Otherwise, again, a great opportunity for Missouri to get a little closer to pulling that upset.
Front 1.5 to double stag jump. Push it 1/2, split full. Megan's second pass. Round off 1.5 front layout. Just a little unsure of herself on that landing. Almost didn't get her feet fully underneath her on that layout. This is not the typical type of performance you see from Florida. They just seem off tonight.
Tuesday, it's SEC Network's men's college basketball, 7 p.m. It's number 25 LSU as they take on Texas A&M. They're both 4 and 5 in the SEC. Somebody's going to move up, somebody's going to move down out of that spot. And then 9 p.m., it's Missouri and Vanderbilt. This is all Tuesday starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Score for Victoria Gatzendorfer, 9.875. A fantastic score, the best of her young career on the balance beam. And now Sydney Schaefer. You can see those scores, the lowest, a 9.825. They put up their second best score in school history on this event last week. They're on the pace to blow that one out of the water as well.
Another 3-skill acro series, back handspring layout step out, and she is rock solid on that landing. Small balance check after that front aerial. Beautiful switch leap split jump, really showcasing her flexibility. Round off 1.5 dismount, and she sticks the landing.
We might have their first 9.9 plus on balance beam, and that's what they're going to need to beat that score, that big score they put up last week against Kentucky.
Another look at that acro series. The round off layout with 1.5 twists opens up just in time to nail that dismount.
Megan Skaggs in the 3rd spot for Florida, a 9.875, so that is good for them. Still glaring at that 9.0 that's currently counting to their team score. Leanne Wong, the freshman, is going to try to help you forget about that 9.0.
Leanne's been working on a bunch of different types of tumbling pass for her routine. She went with the triple full.
Beautiful. She's got an amazing resume, but most notably, all-around silver medalist at the most recent World Championships. I mean, she is the second best
round off her path. Front full to stag jump.
Jenny Rowland said she is still training to compete elite. She'd like to compete elite this summer at the U.S. Championships. And said in the gym, she gets bored easily. She likes to continue to work those upgrades. And when you're as talented and gifted as Leanne Wong, I can imagine.
Last pass, double pike. Beautiful floor routine for Leanne.
Leanne has got some fans in the stands. Her family is in attendance. She is from Missouri. Went to the Great American Gymnastics Express just down the road. A couple hours.
Opened up with a triple full, very difficult skill. Then closed out with a nice controlled double pike.
On the beam for Missouri.
So things continue to go well for Missouri on beam. Sydney Schaefer, another career high for the Tigers, 9.925. 2 gymnasts to go for Missouri. Both of these gymnasts for Missouri are ranked in the top 25 in the country. Alyssa Sharametta, she is the number 22 gymnast on this event.
On beam, judges are looking for confidence. They can tell if you're not feeling what you're doing with 100% confidence. They want to see your connections. They want you to showcase some flexibility. Big balance check for Alyssa after her back handspring layout step out.
And that is really about the first wobble we've seen from the Tigers, but it's unfortunate because this is a routine. They need a 9.9 plus, and with that wobble, probably not going to be possible.
Just another balance check after that front aerial. It's very hard to keep yourself calm and not give away any more deductions after you make just a small mistake in a routine. All she has left is her dismount. Gainer full twisting back off the end of the beam.
No, she gave away some wobbles there. Trinity Thomas on floor. We said she's gotten a 10-0 on every event. Here's one on floor exercise.
Trinity's just such an amazing athlete. The level of difficulty she has in her routine, the control and preciseness of her skills, it is honestly very entertaining to watch.
She has gotten a 9.9 on vault tonight, a 9.925 on the uneven bars. Her and Sienna Schreiber are the 2 all-arounders competing for that crown. Trinity Thomas on floor exercise follows Leanne Wong's career high 9.95. So Florida coming on strong here at the end of their floor rotation.
Trinity's first pass. Big double layout.
There you can see the scores for Florida, that 9.0 still looming.
Front full, front layout for second pass.
You will note in that floor lineup, no Nairi tonight. The number 3 gymnast in the country on floor exercise. She is getting a rest night. We did see her on vault, but Jenny Rowland said many times, she said, I'm gonna rest these athletes when I can. It's about being right at the end of the season and peaking and being healthy, and she's not gonna waver from that plan.
Last pass, double pike. Trinity's tumbling was fantastic. She did have a little mess up on her jump connection. She didn't get her feet all the way around on her popa. So that front fold, front layout, beautiful lines in her tumbling. Closed out with a very well-controlled double pike.
Just smoked that double pike. You know, one thing we don't talk about a lot throughout the season is the all-around competition for the NCAA championship. I tell you, this year is going to be one of the best. There's probably 20 athletes that could win that NCAA all-around title. Now back to the meet at hand. Sienna Schreiber in the anchor position for Missouri. You can see Alyssa Sharametta's 9.65. They need a big one from Sienna. And when I say big, a 9.9 plus to keep pace with Florida and maybe, just maybe, take the lead.
A handspring layout. Perfect.
Sienna, the number 7 gymnast in the country on balance beam.
Switch half, split jump. Gainer full. And she sticks the landing.
Again, another outstanding beam rotation for Missouri, the number 3 team in the country on this event, and tonight they showed you why.
Very nice 3-skill acro series. The full twisting gainer off the side, kicks it out. She has enough height, and she knows that was a good routine.
Great finish there. They will drop that 9.65. We'll see if Sienna Schreiber's score will be enough to get them in the lead after a 3. And I don't think anybody thought that would be the case tonight. One gymnast yet to go for Florida on the floor exercise, and it is Chloe Clark. And we had a lineup change again here for the Florida Gators. Alyssa Baumann was scheduled to go on floor. Last minute change. We do not know why. But Chloe Clark, we saw her on vault, scored a 9.725 on that event, and now here she is on floor in a big spot, trying to get a hit to drop that 9.0 they're currently counting.
Bounces out of bounds. Unfortunately, on that tumbling pass, she did a nice connection. It was a 1.5 to punch front full. We didn't see a judge throw up a flag, so maybe they missed her?
Well, it's interesting, depending on the side of the floor that the judges is sitting in and the view that they have, sometimes it's not that easy to see if that toe, and it really was just a toe, hit that white. Trinity Thomas scored a 9.95 for her floor team, so 2 9.95s and a 9.875 for the last 3 routines for Florida, all coming after that 9.0.
Going for her second pass. Double tuck. Nails that landing.
She hit, and she's going to need a 9.75. That's what it's going to take for Florida maintaining the lead after 3 rotations. It's going to be close.
Does the connection. I mean, it is like only a big toe that is out of bounds.
Wow, what a 3 rotations here in Columbia. It's a great one. Alicia and I will look at SEC news and notes and Gymnast of the Week, and we'll preview the Alabama Tri-Meet coming up next on Friday Night Heights on the SEC Network. Heights on the SEC Network. John Roethlisberger, Alicia Sacramone Quinn. We are here at the Hearn Center in Columbia, Missouri, and we have got a great competition. It is a 1/10 lead. No, that is not a typo. The Florida Gators, number 4 in the country, just holding off the Missouri Tigers after 3 rotations. 1/10 difference is nothing in the sport of gymnastics. Storylines around the SEC, another amazing week of women's gymnastics for Kentucky, the 5th highest total in program history with that 197.45 against Missouri. Raina Worley, she keeps rolling, 3rd all-around title in a row. And for Florida, they put up the highest total in the country so far when they competed against Arkansas last weekend. That 198.25 is going to be tough to beat, led by Wong and Thomas's 10.0s. And then there's Auburn, 2nd highest total in program history. And the big news, though, Suni Lee, she gets into the all-around with that 39.7. Alicia, how about the athlete awards this week?
We are not in the movie Groundhog's Day, but you may feel that way because Raina Worley is again the SEC Gymnast of the Week for the 3rd time in a row. And moving on to Specialist of the Week, we saw her last week in there as well, Trinity Thomas, which, you know, had to give it to her with that 10.0. And last but certainly not least, Sunisa Lee with the Freshman of the Week, making her all-around debut.
Another great week. You can rinse repeat on that too. And we got a great one after us as well. Number 17, Western Michigan. Number 25, University of North Carolina. They all travel to Tuscaloosa to take on number 9, Alabama in a tri-meet. It's going to be a good one. Steve Schlanger and Ashley Miles-Grieg will have the call. Don't go away. As soon as we're done, we will head there. Next rotation, Florida. They've got to finish on the balance beam. The pressure will be on freshman Leanne Wong and the Gators. Meanwhile, Missouri, they go to the floor exercise. Amari Celestine, she'll be the anchor. Could it come down to her routine to decide this meet? One in Columbia, Missouri, and after 3 rotations, though, it's Florida by a 10th. They extend that lead by .025. It started with .25, and it got shrunk real quick after that second rotation. Leanne Wong and Trinity Thomas coming up big time with those 2 9.95s. But Alicia, we saw that Chloe Clark floor routine, and that 1/10 of a point, she went out of bounds on that pass. We don't believe the judges saw that. Going out of bounds is a 10th of a deduction, 10th of a point deduction, and that is the difference right now. You gotta wonder, 6 routines for each of these teams yet to go. That might be the difference.
Florida needs to be great on balance beam, which they can easily do. But Missouri, they need to be lights out on floor if they want to upset the Gators.
Missouri is the number 11 team in the country on floor exercise. Their high score of the season is a 49.325. You flip over to the balance beam as you see Jenny Rowland giving Megan Skaggs a few last-minute words of advice. Florida's the number 2 team in the nation on balance beam, and they have a high score of a 49.7. So obviously Missouri, should Florida do what they normally do, Missouri's going to have to be exceptional to regain that 10th and move ahead of the Gators. Now Megan Skaggs, season high for her on this event, 9.875.
Switch leap split jump. Megan has excellent flexibility, and her artistry is absolutely beautiful. Back handspring layout, acro series, solid on that landing.
And you think about having a graduate student, a 5th-year senior like Megan Skaggs. She is seasoned and she is an outstanding gymnast. Certainly could easily be later in the lineup, but you got to think Jenny Rowland puts a veteran like this up first, set the stage. This is a pressure situation for the Gators, and this is exactly why someone with this poise is up early in the lineup.
Cat jump to it, switch side. Aerial, back full, and she sticks the landing.
What a start for the Gators.
Kicked it off with that beautiful acro series. Absolute perfection. Capped it off, that aerial back full.
Finding a deduction, Alicia, in that routine. I don't know how many 10-0 leadoff scores we've had in the history of women's gymnastics, but that was going to be pretty darn close. And we got a little bit of an all-around battle as well, just 1/10 behind. Sienna Schreiber, just 1/10 back of the great Trinity Thomas. You can see her scores throughout the night. They need a big one here. The high this season for Sienna Schreiber on floor, a 9.85. In fact, every meet this season, she's gotten a 9.85 in this event.
Opens up with a bunch of skill connection pass, which I love. You don't see many people with the punch layout to stack jump to. It just plays into part of the Sienna charm. Front layout, step out.
Coach Welker said he tries to identify young athletes that could fit in the Missouri program by seeing what talents they have and what their strengths are, and seeing how he can take those athletes and build on those strengths. A great example of that is Sienna Schreiber. She came in doing a double pike on floor and said it gave her a ton of anxiety, and they said, let's take it out. And they reconstructed her routine with that pass that you love so much, Alicia, and she's really excelled.
Both of her tumbling passes are super unique. She does a punch front full to front layout step out. I think it just looks nice. She does it so well. She has great form.
So Megan Skaggs a 9.925 in the leadoff spot on beam. Wow, the luxury of having a big routine to start. Now freshman Sloan Blakely. She started her season, her career at Florida with a 9.95 on this event. That is the high score of her career so far.
Front layout, back handspring. Excuse me, front aerial to back handspring step out. Switch leap, switch half.
Sienna Schreiber a 9.875 for that beam routine, so a half-tenth difference between the first two athletes. Obviously they get to drop a low score, but that gives Florida another half-tenth to their lead.
Aerial, back full, sticks the landing.
They are just too good. Florida Gators back-to-back home runs on balance beam.
That beautiful leap connection, switch leap to switch half, and then the side summy. Finish the routine with that beautiful connection. The aerial, the back full, stuck it.
So a couple changes to the Missouri floor lineup this week when compared to their Kentucky lineup last week. One of them right here, Sydney Schaefer back in the lineup. Kira Burns and Alana Kratzer are the ones that competed last week, not this week. Sydney, a sophomore from Andover, Kansas, the high this season of a 9.8.
Front Rudy back layout, step out. Switch ring towards to half. Double tuck. Opens up a little early, does kind of land short on that landing.
Sloan Blakely a 9.925, so back-to-back 9.925 for Florida to start the beam rotation.
Nice floor routine. Double tuck at the last pass. You're tired by the end of the routine. You've been dancing and tumbling nonstop for about 90 seconds. Just has soft legs. If she just was a little bit more ready for that, she would be able to control that double tuck landing a little bit better.
Some words from head coach Shannon Welker. Now over to the balance beam, Melissa Bauman. She was taken out of the floor lineup, but she will compete here on the balance beam. Last time out, a 9.925. And that is all Florida has scored on beam so far, and they have got some big routines yet to go.
Handspring layout step out. Solid.
Jenny Rowland said Alyssa did some amazing Yurchenko 1.5s this week, and apparently she was motivated by her sister Rachel. She saw Rachel do a Yurchenko 1.5, and she said, "That's it, I'm doing it." And Jenny said it was good, and she might just get her opportunity this season. We will see, to compete that vault.
Nothing like a little sister rivalry to get you going and bump up your start value on vault.
Absolutely.
Aerial.
Sydney Schaefer, a 9.75 on floor, and it really feels like they are absolutely going to have to drop that 9.75 if they have any hope of winning this meet tonight, the way Florida's going on beam.
Round up 1.5. Moves that right side foot just a little bit.
And that is probably the single biggest deduction Florida's had so far through 3 routines, is that one little foot move right there.
That was a fantastic beam routine.
Jenny has to be happy. Third gymnast to go for Missouri on floor exercise will be Alyssa Sharametta, the senior. Jenny Rowland pumping up Alyssa Bauman there. Alyssa has a 9.9 for a high this season. Her junior year, she really found her consistency, went 30 for 30. Needs a hit here, and a big hit. Really need to get into the 9.9s.
Front double full. Switch side, straddle full. Front Rudy to back layout, step out. My favorite Ninja Turtle spin.
Oh, what's a Friday night without a Ninja Turtle spin? Alyssa, a transfer from the University of Illinois Chicago after they dropped that program there, unfortunately.
Round off 1.5, front layout, step out.
I'm not sure what the judges are going to think, Alicia, but I had a hard time finding anywhere that there was a flaw done about as well as she can do it.
I'm pretty sure the judges and I are not on the same page today, and that, that's fine. But she opened up with that front double full, and it was very well done. And then the Rudy to back punch layout, step out. And then, of course, my favorite skill of the whole routine, the turtle spin.
Well, speaking of those judges almost weren't on the page at all, because with this winter storm that blew through Columbia, the judges, along with our production crew and the Florida Gator team, had a hard time getting to Columbia, and so the meet referee actually had to step in to judge 2 events, and they had to find another judge because they were short one, and luckily they did, and luckily we have a competition. As Leanne Wong, you see the scores, a 9.9 for Alyssa Bauman. The last 3 gymnasts all capable of 9.95s or 10s for the Florida Gators. Alyssa Sharametta on floor exercising 9.925. That's a career high.
So far, Leanne's beam routine has been perfect until I jinxed her. Big balance check after that front aerial. Solid on their aerial. Nice side semi. Round off, double full dismount. Very well done. Lands with her chest up was something she's been working on, and that has definitely improved in the last few weeks. Accuracy is very well done. She goes for the front aerial, drops that left shoulder, unfortunately, and then finishes the routine very well with a double full. Only the slightest movement of her feet on that landing.
And that wobble was big because, if you're being honest, if Florida does their normal on beam, Missouri's not going to catch them, which means they need a little bit of help. They need some of those small breaks if they're going to make up that 10th and then some. Now, Hannah McCrary on floor exercise, trying to build on that 9.925 for Missouri. They're currently counting a 9.75. They need to drop that score for sure.
And opens up the front layout to punch Rudy, which is a 1.5 twist.
And there are your scores. Beautiful 9.875 to start. A little dip with that 9.75, but building again.
Second toppling pass, double pike. A little bit uncontrolled on her landings. Switch side, straddle full. Finishes the routine with a back 2.5. Very well done.
Like a dart into that mat.
Great floor routine for Hannah.
It feels like it's going to depend on what the judges do with that double pike landing you mentioned, Alicia. How much do they take here?
So you see the front foot double move. So they're going to take probably half-tenth for that minimum. And then that 2.5 was absolutely great. She picks her foot up but puts it down in the exact same spot.
And that's a tough dismount, too, to see that blind landing and land that cleanly is not an easy task. Leanne Wong, a 9.775, so a little bit of a low score, especially for Florida on balance beam. But if anybody can help erase that, it's Trinity Thomas. She was perfect last week on this event. #1 gymnast in the country on balance beam.
One arm back handspring layout step out.
Hannah McCrary scores in a career high 9.95. Pressure back on Florida.
Front aerial beat jump. Back handspring swing down.
We mentioned the all-around competition. Trinity Thomas gets the all-around win with a 9.8 there, and that's certainly going to be better than that.
That was fantastic.
Her team wants a 10. Of course they do, right?
I didn't see anything where they could even think of taking anything. That routine was so well done. Even kicks out the full and lands like a pillow. Lands so softly.
If that score is a 10, that will tie the highest score in the all-around this season, I believe, for any gymnast. Think about that. Trinity Thomas, in her first time out in the all-around, at the very least puts up one of the highest scores in the country. Now Jocelyn Moore, last time out, a 9.925. They need that again.
Jocelyn opens up with a big double layout.
Scores in for Trinity Thomas. It is not a 10. Well, one judge thought it was. 9.975.
So far for Jocelyn, she has one tumbling pass left. Front tuck step up to double tuck. Just tiny bit low in that landing, so I'm going to be super critical, but that routine was great. Open this routine up with a bang with that big double layout.
Showing off the landing.
For sure, and that tuck to double tuck, very difficult.
The hop forward at the end, Alicia. You'd never like to see the hop forward on a landing like that. That is where the judges love to deduct. We'll see what they do with that. Jocelyn Moore needs a huge number. So does Leah Clapper. Right now, Florida's counting a 9.775. All the rest of their scores 9.9 or higher, culminating with Trinity Thomas's 9.975. So now pressure on Leah Clapper. A major break, and the door swings wide open for the Tigers to get only their second win in the history of their program over the Florida Gators.
Leah with the backhand spring layout. Does have a tiny balance check, but keeps the routine going.
So last week, Leah Clapper got a 9.975 for her balance beam routine. This week, to clinch this meet, to get the win for the Gators, she needs a 9.85. Completely doable for her, but she cannot wobble and might not be able to even take a step on this dismount. You can see the total in the bottom right. Keep in mind, they're still counting their low scores on both teams.
Aerial back to hops on that landing. I don't know if that's a 9.85.
Oh my goodness! It is going to be tight, Alicia. She had that little balance check. What do you think? 9.85?
It may just be a 9.85. I don't know. I've been off with my judging for years
right
now.
Here, judge this. Right there. Ooh,
half a 10.
Clean.
That isn't as bad as I've made it out to be. And then the small hop there.
This
at
small hop, it never really not really control that landing, even at the very end there. But again, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and the beholder is the judge. So we will see. What a moment. Freshman Amari Celestine with maybe, just maybe, a chance to do what in Missouri Tigers history has only happened one time, and that is beat Florida. She's got to be perfect.
Full in, first pass, and it was huge. I don't know if you guys caught it, but Florida Gators were in the corner cheering her on for her floor routine. So that's what's great about gymnastics. You may be competing against one another, but at the end of the day, you're one whole family.
You saw the score in the bottom right. It was a 9-9 for Leah Clapper. So this routine, no matter what, will not catch the Gators. But regardless, what a performance for the Tigers, and what a routine so far for Amari Celestine.
The Tigers have not been able to break 197 yet, and this is going to be a really big score for them. And this floor routine is going very well, so it could be even higher. Goes out with a double tap. That was sky high.
What a finish for the Tigers. Wow.
An absolute great day of performances for the Tigers.
They might not get the win in the dual meet, but a 9.8 or better from Amari Celestine will be a program record for the Missouri Tigers.
This routine is packed with difficulty. She controlled her landings. Everything was well executed. This deserves a big score.
I don't know if it'll be a 10, but it is perfection in so many ways for Missouri. Florida will get the win just barely, but the Missouri Tigers gave them everything that they can handle in what very well looks to be the greatest performance in school history. I'm not sure what the cape is for, but maybe she is just simply a superhero, because that routine was incredible. Wow. I think we all need to take a deep breath. We are going to step away for a moment, and then we are going to come back, as Shannon Welker certainly has got some positive words for his team. When we come back, we'll wrap things up from here in Columbia. We got our oxygen, we took a drink. Friday Night Heights has started off with a bang. Florida, they get the win, but man, were they pushed by the 11th team in the country, the Missouri Tigers, just a little over a 10th. is the margin for the Florida Gators. 9.95 was the score, a career high for Amari Celestine. Here is some of the highlights. Let's start with freshman Leanne Wong.
Leanne had a great night tonight. Bars opened it up with a beautiful bar set, near perfect routine. Carried that onto floor, opening up with a very difficult triple full, ended it with a double pike. She was outstanding tonight. And of course, your all-around winner, Trinity Thomas, doing what she does best, perform perfection.
Meet summary, Florida gets the win, but that score of a 197.65 is the highest score in Missouri school history. But Florida 29 out of 30 now, they get the win. Trinity Thomas wins the all-around. That 39.75, that is tied for the third highest all-around this season, her 84th individual title. And there we talked about the high score for Missouri, 14 individual career highs for the Missouri Tigers. Alicia, my goodness, we were hoping for a good one tonight, but I don't think we really believed that it was going to happen. But the only people that needed to believe were the Missouri Tigers, and they really delivered.
It ended up being a fantastic matchup, and something that Coach Shannon Walker said is he needs to get his athletes to believe that they can compete against these big schools and be, a battle. So I think they did that here tonight. They were fantastic. They competed confidently. They were making minor improvements from last week to this week, and if we see them just get those landings under control, that team score will go even higher.
Yeah, and that's what Shannon talked about coming into this meet, is in particular on vault, where they didn't stick any vaults last week. They only stuck one, I believe, this week. Same with bars, 2 out of 6 last week. And I don't want to be this guy that says, oh, what could have been, but a few more stuck landings, right? And this could be a different outcome.
This is just little things that you can easily get under control. They already have a great momentum on balance beam. If they can just get those vault landings done and bars, Missouri's going to be someone to fight.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting watching them. And if you want to watch them, here is their schedule. At number 6, Auburn, and then they get 13 and 8, Arkansas, LSU, then number 9, Alabama, and they finish the regular season in the SEC with Georgia, so it doesn't get a whole lot easier. A big one coming up next week. Alicia, you and I will be there. They take on number 8 LSU, do the Florida Gators, maybe the marquee matchup of the season within the SEC. Then they've got Kentucky, OU at number 2, and then Auburn. For Alicia Sacramone-Quinn, I'm John Roethlisberger. So long from Columbia, but don't go away. Number 9, Alabama, 17, Western Michigan, 25, North Carolina. Coming up next right here on the SEC Network.